All right, guys, so you see chaos around here right now. What's up, guys? So on our YouTube channel, some of you guys asked about tank setup, and just so happens that we just got a bunch of new tanks. I told you guys we had some big things coming this year, and this is part of it. So you can see in the background, this thing is full of new cages and racks. I just made a trip out to Colorado to go see my man Mark at JungleCages. You guys know, and we're gonna piece together a little segment on the cages again as a whole. But again, I just want to say thank you to Mark. This guy's been building cages for me for literally going on 8 years. And I've never had one single issue with any of these cages that Mark didn't fix almost immediately. That's the other part about Mark that I absolutely love and about his cages is he stands behind them, right? If something happens with another cage manufacturer, more often than not, they're gonna tell you to pound sand. You bought the cage, unless it's within like 6 months, too bad. Mark stands behind all of his products, and that's part of the reason why I buy them, not just because they're the best. So what we've got in here, we've got some more 4-foot cages, we've got some new 10-foot cages, we've got some new 6-foot cages, and we've got a couple racks. So basically, we're not necessarily expanding, everything's growing. That's what Retics do, they grow, and this is part of why owning them is such a commitment. So the 10-footers are obviously for some of our biggest girls, the 6-footers are for some of the other females that are growing up. We're basically just shifting a bunch of stuff around, and that way everything's got the appropriate cage that it needs. Now, a lot of you guys ask questions, why don't you give them more space? There's a couple of reasons for that, straight up. With a collection the size of mine, I can't give every single animal like a room size enclosure, okay? That's number one, I don't have that much space. Yes, I have a lot of space in this building behind me, but I don't have that much space. Number two, my objective with my collection is to make sure that they're healthy. Like that is my number one thing, right? And this is the most efficient way I have of keeping my collection healthy. If I had an extensive setup of cages and everything else, I wouldn't be able to do anything else but clean. And obviously that just wouldn't work. So this is why it's another reason why I use these cages. They're super easy to clean. They're super durable. They stand up to just years and years and years of use. And it's part of the reason why I just made a 14-hour road trip to go pick these up. So we're gonna start getting these unloaded. And as we go along, we're gonna show you guys the different phases of this new setup. Better, no cages up super anymore.
The shit out of people.
Right.
That's why she would rather have you afford to be able to care for the snake. The snake gets care than money.
So moving stuff around, got a new stand for our 4-footers. These are not new cages. We do have some new ones over there. And we're just rearranging stuff. We're moving stuff all around. So rehooking stuff up, we will be moving some snakes around once we get everything settled. But when we rebuild these stacks, we got to rehook up the herp stack, do everything like that. So just a process, all part of it. You see chaos around here right now. We are in the process of building stacks. So we've got a couple things done. So we're showing you that stack over there, the 4-footers. We just pulled a cage off of that stack of 6-footers. We've got the second stack of 4-footers built right here. Obviously you can see new cages, old cages. Mark's actually using a new material, and so far I like it a lot. And then we've got this stack of 6-footers here that we're just putting together. Another thing, new feature of the newer cages. This is the new lock mechanism. It's integrated. Hold on, I will show you guys what it looks like. So you got your key, in, twist, done. Cage is locked. You cannot move. I can rip the handles off though. Yeah, that's one thing. Mark's gonna have to use a new kind of adhesive on that. But anyways, yeah, you cannot move that. It sets against the center pillar. That glass cannot open either direction. So got that done. Next thing is we're gonna finish this stack of 10-footers. Yes, I said 10-footers. That was the bulk of the cages that I went and got for my big girls. So all the big girls in the 8-footers are getting upgraded to these 10-footers. This was what I originally ordered when I had Neffy. I had gotten her a 10x3. None of my girls I have now are anywhere close to her size. However, I want to upgrade them to the 8x3s that they're in. I just think are a little bit not quite there. So putting them in 10x3s, upgrading some of the other girls that are in 6x3s to 8x3s and such on. That's really all we're doing is just upgrading different snakes. There's not one new snake in the collection that is causing this. This is strictly just to upgrade everything that we have. Because again, retics don't stop growing. So we're getting there, making progress. All right, guys. So we're not 100% done, but we are close. You can see this is what we've been up to all day today. We didn't just add cages. We rearranged everything. We rearranged the layout of the cages. We rearranged snakes. We rearranged where racks go. Like, we've literally changed everything. So what did we get that's new? So biggest thing, these right here. These are 10-foot cages. So you guys, a lot of people say, oh, the cages are so small. I'm 6'1". Obviously my wingspan is the exact same length as my height. So there you go. That gives you an idea of how big these cages are. There aren't really anybody else in the industry that I know of that uses 10x3s. That's what they are. They're 10 feet long, they're 3 feet deep, they're 18 inches high. For my biggest girls, this is what I think is appropriate. Would I like to give them something even bigger? Sure, I would, but this is what is appropriate, allows me to keep them healthy. Real quick, so they're 10 feet long, like I said. That means we got to do a special way of heating them. So I've got 2 heat panels, one there and one on this side. So there's a heat panel on either side, which creates a hot spot on either side of the cage and allows the center of the cage to be the cool or cooler side so that they can move into the center. Obviously, you see they're holding the humidity great, bumped up, without even a humidifier running right now. So we got those, we got some new 6x3s, and like I said, we've just rearranged everything, guys. The other thing that I'm really excited about is I have been able to now move all of my males, breeders at least, to this side. So now I don't have males and females intermixed in the same rack. Why does that matter? During breeding season, when you got a bunch of females going in, the males like to go off food. Just having a little bit of distance from them, from over there and over there to right here, it allows me to give them a little bit more distance, and hopefully maybe they won't go off food. I don't know, we'll test the theory next season. But it also just allows me to see all of them. We still got a few things to do, lights to fix, things like that. Like I said, we're not completely finished, but it's been a really good day. It's been a long day. I'm really happy with the way this is coming together. This expansion has been needed for a bit, not just from a standpoint of giving snakes upgrades, but allowing us to have extra cages that are open so that we're not always maxed out. I hate being maxed out on cages and not having anything extra. That way, if something goes down, I've got an extra cage to throw a snake into if I need to. So anyways, guys, this is where we're at. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon. Now, I got my buddy Mark here. Mark hates being on camera. This is not his deal. He just likes to build cages, which this behind me, you can see I'm 6'1", guys. That's how big this cage is. This is a custom-made Croc monitor enclosure that he made. I'm going to tilt this back a little bit so we can get a better angle on it. There we go. So it's a custom-made Croc monitor enclosure that he built for his 2 Crocs. I'm always telling you guys how good Mark is with building cages, right? It doesn't matter what you want, he can build it. Now, one of the things that you guys have said publicly is, well, he doesn't ship, he doesn't ship. That's not true. He can ship. So, on a I'm not going to give you guys all the prices. You need to call him, talk to him. He's the man you want to talk to. But on a 6x3 cage, the price for shipping would be what? Approximately?
Right about $225 to $250.
Okay.
You're still cheaper than Vision. So.
There you go. See? Look, maybe I'm biased because Mark's my friend, but look, I've used all the cages on the market. I've used Vision, I've used AP, I've used Monster Cages, I've used them all. I say they're the best cages on the market, period, but especially for big constrictors and big monitors. Like, we're in Colorado, guys. It's not a human state. Look at all that moisture that he's gotten there, right? You simply can't beat these cages. So, quick video, introduce you guys to Mark. If you guys need cages, call this man. He will get you hooked up. Take care, guys.
But I've got that one.